up, everybody? I'm Sal Kalani. This is Reggie Steele. And welcome to Spitballin. Spitballin.
What's up, everybody? I'm Sal Kalani. This is Reggie Steele.
And welcome to Spitballin.
Getting right into it, Reg.
Get right into it. So, which one should I go first? First, let's go straight up right here.
Well, you should welcome everybody.
I did. You just said you said welcome to Spitballin.
Well, I thought you could have done a little more.
That's what I always do.
Exactly.
That's what I
you
always
might need
do.
to start stepping it up.
That's hilarious. I love that you don't mention this before we get on the air. As soon as we get on air,
It's more entertaining.
Sal
this
likes
way.
to call me out and be like, I think you could have done a little better. You could have added more to this.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. First off, I want to say shout out to the Cincinnati Bengals for getting a big W yesterday, beating Buffalo. And the only reason, let's just be honest, folks, I'm not the football dude. I don't bring any football information to the podcast. It's always Sal, but he's always talking about Cleveland. He's always talking about the Guardians.
That's Northern Ohio.
Northern Ohio. But Cincinnati is also
Southern Ohio, dude.
Oh
you gotta get your geography right.
Cincinnati is still in Ohio.
It's 4 hours away. Fuck them. It's basically Kentucky.
It's the same state, bro. It's the
Barely.
same state. I just told him that him not rooting for the Cincinnati Bengals because they're not his
division rivals.
Dude,
See,
it's the same state. It's the same state. You gotta root for your state team, bro. One of your state teams.
Like if people are, you don't root for Texas and Texas State or Oklahoma and Oklahoma State.
If I were in Texas and I was rooting for Texas State and Texas State was eliminated, me being in Texas, I would still root for Texas A&M because Texas is still being represented, right? Same thing with Alabama. People root for Alabama. I mean, now look, no. This is blasphemy. This is blasphemy, especially in the South. But personally, if Alabama isn't doing well and they're losing and Auburn's on the top and Auburn's they go to the national championship game, I root for Auburn because Auburn is still in the state of Alabama. Right?
See, exactly. It's blasphemy. It's the same idea.
It's akin, you not rooting for Cincinnati.
It's like you not rooting for
it's like black on
Auburn.
black crime.
No,
it's like
orange on orange.
It's orange on orange crime. Orange on orange crime. It's like we're from the same place. It's like in what was it in Africa in Rwanda with the Tutsis and the Hutus.
I don't know, man.
They were the same
the Bengals
people,
or not might not be the same as a genocide in Africa.
Well, I'm just saying that they pitted them against each other. They were the same people, and then somebody from an outsider came in and was like, "All right, look, we're gonna draw a line down the middle. All the tall people over here.
We're making divisions.
We're gonna make divisions. All the tall people over here, all the short people over here, regardless of whether you're related or not. And boom." Now, all the tall people are better than the short people. And people went fucking nuts. And then they said, all right, now we're going to switch the tables. Now the short people are better than the tall people. And they got bananas. And everyone forgot that they were all the same.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like when you watch that movie and then you're like, there's a difference. Like, I didn't know there's a difference between two little groups. And people can't even tell. They can't even tell. They're just like, what religion? What side are you on? And then if you're one or the other, people kill you.
It was like height difference. Same thing. I just saw a woman speaking about this recently. She was talking about in the Hispanic community, right? She was talking about Dominican Republicans and Puerto Ricans, right? And she says the worst thing for the Latin community that was ever created was white supremacy, right? And nationalism. She goes, we were all the same, right? Everyone was the same and everyone was happy for the most part. And then outsiders came in and drew lines and then gave each person a flag. All right, so now this is your area and you get a flag. And this is your area, you get a flag. But before the lines were drawn, it was just one people, one language, one culture, right? And all of a sudden they drew lines and then boom, now you got this difference. That's all.
I know. I pissed someone off online once when I was like, because they're all talking about immigrants, or I'm like, all over these invisible lines.
Exactly. Dude, just for the record, I mean, everyone out there probably knows this, and if you don't know, I played college basketball at St. Mary's College in California, right? And I
Every
played
episode. Hey, you guys
every
know who he
episode.
played with?
Yeah, no, I'll never talk about that. But I played in the West Coast Conference, right? I got big times flack online for this, right? In the West Coast Conference, when I played, there was Gonzaga, St. Mary's, Santa Clara, Pepperdine, LMU, Portland, San Diego, USF, right? And now it's expanded. They've added BYU and UOP, but it doesn't matter. Point being is I root for St. Mary's, right?
We'll keep going. This is your new inspirational music.
Oh, okay. Well, I root for St. Mary's in the NC2A tournament. But when St. Mary's is eliminated, I then root for Gonzaga or LMU or Pepperdine or San Diego.
And why is that, Reg?
Because they all represent the WCC, and that's what conference I played in. So instead of just rooting for my team in the WCC, I root for all teams in the WCC, because a win for one is a win for all. And this
Amen, brother.
Message brought to you by Reggie Steele. Thank you.
You like
Seriously.
that? We got to give props to good idea, Adia. She came up with adding some inspirational music when Reggie does his amateur therapy moments.
Who said that? Dia? Who said that?
Adia. Yeah, let me see.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
you
awesome.
guys need to play some inspirational music every time Reggie starts with his amateur therapist comments. It's hilarious.
I love it. Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. As long as I know if you could do it like that, then I can.
That was nice, right? I found a
great.
good one. I went and found it as a free for people to listen.
Oh, dude, it's awesome.
Whatever.
And I was able to I found the rhythm and the timing, and it felt like a real moment. It was actually for me. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that these invisible lines that divide us, bro, is like, forget the lines, bro. Ohio is advancing. The state of Ohio is advancing, and
I'm still not rooting for him. So
okay.
And it sucks. It's the same Final Four almost as last year without the Rams. So it's the Bengals and Chiefs again, and then it's the Niners again, but this time against the Eagles, who I think probably going to win it all. I thought it was going to be Eagles Bills, but the Bills did not look good yesterday.
Well,
their defense,
they had a game that was. They had a game. I mean, shout out to what's the guy's name? Darvin Hamlin.
Damar Hamlin.
Oh, Damar Hamlin. For steadily improving. So a guy was injured during the game, and the Buffalo's last game it was canceled. Like, the game was stopped halfway through 3 weeks ago. And I'm sure there's been a lot going on with that organization and just trying to recover from that. I'm sure a lot of guys were affected, right?
Anyway, the defense was shit. That's what it was affected from yesterday. And
okay.
It didn't look good. But anyway, look, my mom's sick of all the sports we talk about. So we should
Oh, how is Rose? Did she hear?
She didn't really listen off. She's like, I didn't finish it. I'm like, did you hear about Reggie? What he said about sugar? I didn't get that far and finish it. You guys talk about sports a lot.
That's folks, that's Sal. Sal brings the sports to it.
Shit, Reggie just talked about. I was just talking about Ohio. Reggie's bringing up college basketball and needs an inspirational song while he talks about it. I don't get it. There was I got a good comment by somebody online. I put our little the cat hating Christians video up about like how, it's funny. Someone put this. I didn't know this. They put this quote. I don't know if this is even real. I guess I should have looked it up, but it says Neil deGrasse said women who had cats during the plague didn't catch it. That's why today people associate witches with cats.
Oh, wow. Really?
Because if you have the cats, yeah, exactly.
They
kept it out. They kept it out. But this guy wrote, with the video, he goes, I like this guy's name is Louis K. Vargas. No one is going to mention how Norm Macdonald is talking to Dennis Haysbert. Just me.
Wait, Norm Macdonald is talking to Dennis Haysbert.
So that's me because I sound like him. And then, so I had to look up Dennis Haysbert. You even know who that is?
Is he
I
saying
mean, you're
I'm
more
Dennis Haysbert?
Yeah, you're more Terry Crews, but there's Dennis Haysbert.
Oh, I can see that though. I can.
What did he act in?
No, he's a State Farm guy, but he's been in a bunch of movies too.
That's right.
Yeah, he's a State Farm guy. That's hilarious. What's his name? Dennis
Oh,
Haysbert.
yeah, yeah. But I thought that was really good. I mean, I've never heard anyone be called
Oh,
Dennis Haysbert before.
Haysbert.
Yeah.
Haysbert. And look, I've gotten a lot of different people. I've
You ever
gotten Dennis Haysbert. I used to get Brian McKnight. I've gotten Dominique Wilkins. You know,
Dominique?
Dominique, dude, it's crazy. When I was younger, when I had my high top, dude,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Dominique and I really, realistically, it's my skin tone, it's my color. Anybody
And
who's
your
like
height.
my color and my height and my size. And
But Dominique
it's a
was
smile.
taller than you. Dominique was taller, wasn't he? He was like 6'7"?
Dominique was 6'7". Yeah, he's 6'7". But all right.
You ever get Terry Crews?
I've gotten Terry Crews. I've gotten LeBron. I've gotten, like I said, Brian McKnight.
Someone actually, they didn't think you were LeBron. They just said you looked like LeBron.
No, they just like, man, you like LeBron James. Right?
Yeah.
They look,
No one's ever mistook you for actually somebody and started talking to you like you're that famous person.
No. I've always been me. Like they always see that I'm different, but they go, but man, you look just like him. Right? I get that. I used to get that all the time.
I got mistaken for Dax Shepard before.
Really?
Yeah, because like we both have like the nose and the face, and if I'm wearing a hat and from a distance.
Dax Shepard. Oh, I know who that is. That's the one who's married to
Kristen Bell.
Yeah. Let me see. Hold up.
Well, now I got a bunch of facial hair, but yeah, the nose and the face a little bit.
I can see it a little bit. I
got the brown hair,
Yeah, I can see it just a little bit. Man, I feel bad for that guy. He's got some serious addiction problems. Well, he's had some serious addiction.
No, he's doing fine. He's got a podcast doing way better than ours.
That's
no, he did the movie Chips.
Yes.
It didn't do well. And then he stopped doing movies. Like that was his last shot to try and become like a main lead. You know what I mean? Wow. I mean, you haven't seen him because after that movie didn't do so well, he started the podcast, and then that's all he's been doing now.
Okay, well, he's got a very successful wife, who's a pretty awesome actress. I love her. She's funny as hell. True. So he could take that L and walk away. Now the other guy that was in Chips with him, the Latin dude,
I don't even remember who that was. He was the guy. He was in Eastbound and Down and stuff. Yeah, Ant-Man. Right.
So this is a great example of perspective. You have two people in the movie. The movie doesn't do well. One guy is like, well, the movie didn't do well. I guess I'll just go over here and womp, womp, womp. And the other guy's like, yeah, I did a movie. It didn't do well. And the other guy's like, well, hey, look, I'm going to keep it moving. Right? That was one thing.
Well, let's be honest. The guy keeping it moving already had a way more successful acting career.
Hey, dude. Yes, he did. But let's be honest, too. We know who Dax Shepard is. He's got a Wikipedia page. I ain't got a Wikipedia page. You ain't got one. Okay. Like, yeah, maybe he wasn't all world, but he definitely had a career and he was somebody. And he did a major feature film that was released in the theaters. So yes, his career and his notoriety was not on the same level as his partner, but who gives a shit? If it was here and it didn't do well and you decide to drop off, then it just goes to here. This guy's here and it drops off, then what? He keeps it moving. Right.
Oh, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying the other guy was in the zone.
Okay. Which is true.
I don't know.
Which is true. No, he's good and he's funny. He's very versatile.
Reggie took off last week, everybody, because he needed to make more money working. So that's why we didn't perform. We didn't do Martin Luther King Day recording.
Well, I tell him the other part of it. I said we could do it on Tuesday.
He said we could do it later when it's already supposed to be released. And I'm like, nah, dude.
Dude, we could have done Tuesday. We could have done Monday night.
My tummy's hurting today. I don't know what the hell I had yesterday. I had some pizza last night.
Sal and his IBS, folks.
And how? So what did you want to talk about, Rich?
Well, hold up. Are you ever gonna go get that checked out, bro? Are you gonna go get that?
I did before, and they don't know every time. And then I went and got my allergies. And they don't know. People don't know. They don't know anything.
So it's food related, bro. It's food related. You had your allergies done? What were you allergic to? Or what are you allergic to?
Nothing. Like dairy. For skin, like for they did when I was getting all that shit on my face and I was getting hives. and I think it was overall it was from stress. But they tested me for everything. Put cat dander on me, dog dander. They put all this shit. It's really easy. You just have your arm and they just put all these drops, like 16 different things.
Are
And
you
they're
on
like,
at
all
the
right,
same
let's
time?
see and they're like, all right, wait 10 minutes and see what acts up.
Wait, hold up though. I mean, cat dander wouldn't respond on my arm, but when I smell it or it's in the air, then I get a whole
I think
thing.
it's still, but they could tell if your body is allergic to it in any
Or if
way.
your body responds to it in that
Yeah,
way.
just how it responds. So then it's all liquid drops they put on you, and then, but anyway, nothing. None of them acted up. So
Even a lactose drop? You still lactose
well,
drop.
they don't for that. That's different. Not dietary. Not stuff
Okay,
you
not
eat.
ingest. This is external.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is
Okay.
So, but yeah. So I don't know, brother. Whatever.
Okay.
What I'm
Well,
just so you like something like you've been so used to it. You're like, that's just how I live now. Don't eat that. That shit gonna hurt. Don't eat
hey,
that.
dude, I'm telling you right now. You know what? That's I talked to a doctor about this, and I talked to a doctor about this about how many people in this country live with chronic pain or chronic discomfort, right? Because that's basically what you're saying. You're saying I have it so much that I'm just used to it now. This is just how I am. But that's not how it's supposed to be. But there are ways that you can change it by
Not
depending on,
always, you think, but a lot of times you go and they're like, I don't know.
yeah, just
Well,
because
I was
they
like,
don't,
well,
that
if
don't
you
mean
don't know, I don't fucking know.
yeah, but I mean, you got to find somebody who knows because there's a cause and effect for everything, right? And I know someone out there right now is like, nope, nope, I just hurt all the time. That's just what it is. And it's like, well, did you drink soda? Did you eat a bunch of cruddy food?
You ever
I
go
eat
to the
whatever I want to.
doctor?
Doctor said it's not what I eat. It's
I went in there
everything.
once. This dude Googled. He's like, well, let me see. He started Googling something I had. It's like, the fuck?
Yeah, you can't go that deep. You'll think you got everything. You look at
I was like,
WebMD,
the
it's
doctor's
over.
Googling. I can do that.
Nah, you start thinking you got everything if you start Googling WebMD. It's next level. No, but you gotta understand, man, that we are what we eat legitimately. Whatever you put in your body is gonna have an effect on your body. And we're not a monolithic society. Like everything isn't for everybody. That's why some people can eat cheese, right? And not have a problem. And then I eat cheese. I don't even like the way cheese tastes. So for me, it would be drinking milk. I drink milk, and all of a sudden, my body is like going into convulsions. My stomach is in knots. Yes. And I mean, it's like I'm hurt to the side, and it's all bad. Right. It's all bad. But people it's easier for people to just live with comfort than to figure out what it is and make changes. And that's the truth. And you know what? That's gonna
But what
segue
if
into
you
another
try
thing.
and they don't know?
Hey man, look, I know a dude right now. I'm not gonna say any names. I know a dude right now whose health is not the best. His health is probably declining.
That doesn't really work with that.
No, it doesn't work with that. And and he lacks so much self-discipline that he's willing to just live with he's the idea is that he thinks he's gonna die young, or he's not he doesn't think he's gonna live a very long time based on his health, but he's not willing to do anything about it to change it.
What's wrong with his health?
It's got a number of things. I'm not gonna go into it because if I go into details, and if he hears this, then he's gonna know who it is. I don't want to go there. Yeah,
You're gonna have problems with your health.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to go that far. But what I'm saying, the point being is that he and I have talked about this, and he has just accepted that he does not have discipline. He's like, I can't. He's like, I eat what I eat. I just like it. And I go, yeah, but you know that counters that directly affects one or two of your health conditions. He goes, yeah, but like, look, man, I'm just who I am now. I'm just, I'm an older dude, and I just ain't changing. I'm not changing. I just can't. I'm not changing. Then he goes, well, then he's like, but I'm probably gonna die anyway. That's his attitude. I'm probably just gonna die anyway. I go, yeah, but there's other people in your life, bro. Right? Like, you don't want to just try to make the changes or try to be here for the people to do the thing. I ain't gonna change.
I mean, that's the same attitude a lot of anti-vaxxers have. My mom would say that, like, you all got to die for something anyway.
And how old is your mom? That's funny.
It's pushing 80. We talked about that last.
Oh yeah, she's 80. So yeah, she's lived her life. Now she's like, all right, I'm at the end. Whatever.
But still, I mean,
no, but I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that guy can't be. I'll say this: like, I started making more vegetarian meals, and then once you get into it, you're like, this is pretty good. If you find the ones you like and the meals you like, it's pretty damn good, bro.
Hey man, look, there was a thing yesterday that said that meat is directly related to cancer. The consumption of meat is direct. It used to be the consumption of red meat and heart disease, right?
Right.
But now they're saying that meat is directly
Like
tied to
beef
cancer.
or
Beef,
all of it.
chicken, all of it, turkey, the whole thing, all of it. We just, I mean, so I'm not trying to scare people into not eating meat. I'm just saying, like Sal mentioned, the vegetarian diet. You ain't got to go all veggie, but please increase your intake of leafy green vegetables, man. It's been proven over and over again that these joints are healthy for you. They
All right,
help
I
your
got a
body.
new veggie recipe for everybody. We should have like little sections. We need music for every section. So
Okay.
so we got the Reggie inspiration.
But we got to have the Sal food section because you love talking about
Yeah, there's
food.
got to be a food
Yeah.
section.
Got
But
to be a
this is
food
it. So
section.
this is one I discovered recently. Now, makes you love tacos, dude. All types, hard shell, soft shell, all that. But most tacos, a lot of meat and beans. But here's one, and I do soft taco. You take the butternut squash; it's already cut up. You take your Brussels sprouts, cut them in half, and then you know oil, salt, and pepper. Throw that shit in the oven, 420 minutes, right? Whatever, and then you could add a little corn and dude, and then you get like your salsa. You could get your beans. You could put black beans in there. So look at that. You got
You
black
get some
bean, corn,
protein.
Brussels sprouts, butternut squash, and then I have to get, and I'm probably gonna go after this. Go get the non-dairy sour cream. Follow your heart, and dude, that I feel like I'm in a damn taco restaurant right there, dude. When I'm making that, man, it's
Dude,
freaking amazing.
have you thought about getting a truck? Why don't you
No,
get Sal's
I
food
have, I
truck?
have, I have, I have.
Dude,
And
you
you know
should
what's
get
great? I'll say this because with wings too, I'll do cauliflower wings, as you know. But with veggies, if you're really hot, you just keep eating. You can just keep eating it. It's not bad for you. Like if you keep eating meat, you know what I
right,
mean? Like
right.
eventually, yeah,
Meat will catch up with
veggies.
you.
Right. So veggies, after a while, and veggies are made to clean you out anyway because of all the fiber.
Yeah, they keep everything moving, right? They keep
Yeah,
it
but then
all
and
moving.
like they say colors is good too. So you got the green, the orange, the yellow, the black, you got all that, the
Yes.
white, sour
Oh,
cream.
and what do they say? The darker, the better. Even with onions, if you got a white onion versus a red onion, the onion is better for you, right? If you
Really?
get potatoes, white potatoes versus the purple potatoes, like sweet potatoes, and then the purple potatoes are better for you.
What about all these people say nightshades are bad?
Oh, like the tomatoes,
But and
uh,
potatoes.
and potatoes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've heard that too. I've heard that
Yeah,
too.
whatever.
Whatever.
All right, so tell us your story about the car.
All right. Okay, here we go. So my check engine light came on. This is on the Mercedes. The check engine light came
I
on
like
a
how you
few.
dropped that, everybody. This
Well,
this on a
no,
Mercedes.
it's
Saying
no,
on the
it's
Tesla or the Porsche. This
that's
on the
hilarious.
Mercedes.
Well, because I have two cars. I have the Acura and I have a Mercedes. And the reason this is important because this is you'll hear what it is. You hear what it is. So the check
Hey,
engine
what
light
was
came
that
on.
Chris Rock joke where he's like, Jay-Z's got a Ferrari $500,000. I got an Acura $30,000.
Right. Well, the Acura is good shit too. I love it. All right, so my check engine light comes on a few weeks ago. I take it to Mercedes in Oakland, right? And they're like, yeah, look, we're it's too busy. We're not gonna be able to get to it today. We don't have any loaners. So, but it's not the check engine light isn't blinking, so it's okay to drive. I go, all right. Well, he's like, is there any problem with it? I go, nah, it's driving fine.
All right, I have a
So I
question.
leave.
How long until you got it checked out was the light on?
Probably a week,
See, I mean,
a
that's
week and
pretty
a
good.
half.
Most people probably like 3 months.
Oh, damn that. No. Shit. No. That's just a recipe for disaster. Your joint comes on, that means something's wrong. And if you keep driving it, then it's going to lead to something worse. And then whatever the problem was, it's going to
I
exacerbate and
remember
become something bigger.
comedian Jason Downs was talking to me once. He's like, "Yeah, dude, how often are you supposed to change the oil?" I'm like, "Every 3,000 miles." He's like, "Oh man, I drove this for like 10,000 miles, and the car got all jacked up." I was like, "Yeah, you got to change the oil, dude."
Dude, Exactly. It's like you have a health condition or a health problem, and you kind of like, hey, what's this thing? I just leave it, and it goes from here to your whole arm, and now it's up your neck, and it's over your chest, and you're like, I should probably go get this checked out. Oh, right. You probably should have went when it was here, and it went from here to here.
Like
So they
grayscale.
couldn't. So it was about a week, right? And they said something about the gas cap, and it should go off after 3 days or whatever. And I was like, okay, and maybe it wasn't even a week and a half. It was like right at a week. So I couldn't get it seen then. And I was like, well, he said it's okay. So drove it, had it for another week or so, a week and a half. Went out to another spot, went out to Pleasanton. Actually, damn, I shouldn't even say the names of these places, but
that's far as hell, dude.
Well, okay, so I went to another dealership.
Pleasanton.
I went out to another dealership. Now, this is where I bought the car, and I've had service done there before, and they do excellent service. They do an excellent job. The service there, all right, the service advisors, excellent. The quality of service is top notch. The facilities are top notch, right? They have a lot of access. They have a lot of money out there. I get out there. The guy looked at the car and he goes, "Well, look, we won't be able to look into it for a while because we're busy. Blah blah blah." And we don't have any loaners available. He's like, but if you can bring it back this time, you can get a loaner and the whole thing. So I bring it back the later time. I get the loaner. They look at the car. Now, with the Mercedes, just to diagnose what the problem is $250. This is the thing about luxury cars.
What a scam.
Well, hold up, though. This is the thing about luxury cars. Everybody wants a luxury. Everybody wants a Maserati. They want an Aston Martin. They want a Rolls Royce. They want a BMW. They want a Mercedes. They want whatever other luxury vehicle you could think about. But a Ferrari, whatever the case, everybody wants to drive nice cars. But I'm telling you now, off the top, before they even fix anything, just to do this, $250. $375, $500, right? Depending on what car it is. So I take it in, they look at it. I get a call and he goes, this is your engine thermostat. And to replace that is $1910.
Damn, dude, like under 20 bucks.
Yeah, really. $1910. And your rear flex disc has worn out. And that's $520.
What is that?
It's got something to do with the drive shaft and the differential and whatever. It's just a piece that over time will just wears out, right? It's not like you can do anything about it. It's just a wear and tear of the vehicle, right?
How old's the car?
It's a 2015. So 7 years, which is, it's like, okay, that's about right for this particular piece. And it's only $520 to replace, right?
Only.
Well, I mean, compared to what it could be, right? So I'm like, damn, all right, man, that's like 2430. That's a lot of money. But you got to get it done because it's the same thing. If you got bad tires and you don't replace the tires, you get into an accident. Now it's even worse.
Yeah, it's also like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have to get it eventually.
You're gonna have to get it done eventually. So now, fast forward, I'm talking to the contractor in Alabama about the house and talking about how much is left to get it done, which is still not done yet, right? And then I say to him, I go, man, I would love to get this done because I need to get this whole thing going because my car's in the shop. I'm about to drop $2,400 on my car. And he goes, $2,400? What kind of car is it? And I go, it's a Mercedes. And he says, I work at Mercedes. What's wrong with it? I said, well, it's a engine thermostat and the rear flex disc. And he goes, all right, the thermostat, he goes, usually that's on top of the engine, depending on what year it is. He's like, that's like 4 screws, dog. He's like, you can look online, find the part, and do it yourself. And I was like, what? Hold up. And then he goes, the rear flex differential. I don't know about that. You just got to get He goes, you just got to let them do that themselves. I don't know about that, right? But I start thinking, I go, well, let me just see how much this part is. So I look online, I find the part, I find the year, the make, the model, and it's like $100 for the part. Like 99. Wow. I saw it between 99.
And they want 1,900 for the labor and everything.
Hold up. I see between $100 and like $156, right? Different brands and whatever else, right? And so I look on, he's like, yo, he tells me, he goes, man, before I take my car anywhere, and this is a direct quote, before I take my car anywhere, I go to YouTube University and look and see what they do. I was like, YouTube University, pretty funny. So I look online and I see all these, I found a few videos about like how to replace this thing on this particular make and model of the car. Now, it's a little more intense than just lifting up the hood and like,
Yeah, right.
right? It's a little like you got to get under and do a thing. Like you need to have
That's
access.
the big problem is getting access and the tools because it's also tight together.
Exactly. And it's got a couple of tubes into it, a few tubes into it, the whole thing. And this thermostat regulates the temperature of the engine so that you can get your coolant going at the right time. Without it, you could potentially overheat. And if you overheat, you won't know that you're overheating. And then you know how it is with engines that overheat, they can start melting stuff.
So you telling me Reggie Steele got his hands dirty?
No,
You
Reggie
telling me
still
Reggie
works.
Steele,
No, Reggie still works.
I thought Reggie Steele worked on this car and did it himself.
Reggie still works so he can pay somebody to do it. That's why. Look, there are people, this is their job. I got nothing against getting my hands dirty. I mean,
What about YouTube University?
You can see how rough my hands are right now on this screen. My hands are like sandpaper, bro. Right? I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty.
That shit looks smooth like butter.
Shit. if I was to hit you with these hands, it would hurt and leave a scratch. You're like,
you hit me with that hand, I feel like I went to the spa.
It's like powdering your face.
Right? Yeah, I was like, oh, Reggie, so refreshing.
All right, so I look and I'm like, yo, man, hold up. This don't seem as complex as it looks, as it sounds, right? So I then call the first dealership back and I go, hey, how much would it be to replace this? And they go, what year, make, model, the whole thing? They're like, 1089. I'm sorry, what'd you say? $1,089. Okay, hold up. How much would it be to replace this over here? Oh, that's about 450 or 479, something like that. Which is only, now with that one, there's only like, we say it's like a $30 difference because it was 510 and then like basically 480, right? So I'm like, okay, that's about the same. So with taxes, I go, well, so what would it be with taxes out the door? They're like, with taxes, and they go, and they say, well, we have to do the diagnostics. And I go, well, I already have the diagnostics done. This is what I know it is. And they're like, okay, well, if you don't do our diagnostics, it will be less, but then we don't guarantee the work, right? We don't guarantee the work. But if we do our diagnostics and the service, then we guarantee the work for 2 years. If something goes wrong, we take care of it. And with that, the whole thing comes to $1,763 and 92 cents, right? $1,763 versus $2,430, bro. That's a huge difference, right? So I call the other people. I'm like, hey, I was talking to a friend of mine who works at Mercedes, and he said that I can get the service done somewhere else for a lot cheaper. And I called this particular place, and they gave me this quote. And the guy goes, they gave me a quote exponentially less. And the guy goes, well, how much was it? And I told him, and he said, well, let me consult my consultant advisor. He's like, I'll call you back in like 5 or 10. He called me back in like 7 minutes. He goes, can you send me that quote? Can you send me something that says it with their letterhead or their email that with that quote? And I was like, I'll sure as hell try. Hang up with him, call the other people, call the same person that I've been dealing with so they know what's going on. I go, hey, is it possible? Can you email me that quote just so I can have an actual copy of it and I can make a decision or whatever? And they're like, yeah, sure, I'll send you whatever. Send me the thing. He sent me his email, send it to him. I get a call or get an email like 20 minutes later. All it said was very simple. He goes, we'll match it.
Wow.
And I go, yes.
So wait, why not just go to the first one? Because they're the ones
my
who get
car,
the cheaper price.
they still have my car. They have my car already, right? The car is already there. And I already have a loaner, right?
So you're doing this while it was there before they even worked on it.
Yeah, because before they do the work, they call and ask you. They tell you what it is. They tell you what the problem is, what the issue is, then they got to order parts. So before they move forward, you give them the okay. Like I could have just done the diagnostics, paid the $250 and knew what it was and then left, right?
Aren't you pissed though that they tried to rip you off $700?
Nah, I'm not pissed. I'm just glad I know. It's
That's
look, it's a
crazy,
business, man.
man.
It's a business, and look, this is a prime example of like the markup. Everywhere there's a markup, even at the other place that quoted me less. For them, it's a markup, but their markup isn't as high because their overhead isn't as high. Like at this place, the other place that I go to, dude, when I drive up, they have whatever they have a scanner that reads my license plate on a big board. It says, "Welcome, Mr. Steele." Right? Someone comes out, dude. Listen, someone comes out. They meet me at my car, and they're like, "Do you have an appointment?" And I go, "Yeah." And they go, "All right, we'll leave the keys in here, and someone step inside. Someone will help you." I walk in, and someone was like, "Hi, welcome. What can I do for you?" I go, "Hi, I'm Reggie. I have an appointment at this time." They go, "All right, we'll have a seat, and our service advisor will be with you in just a moment." Dude, I go sit down. They have a whole area with food's available. They got water. They got juice.
Wow.
Right? It's a really
That's
nice
that
layout.
$700 extra right there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, the whole display room is full with exotic and different and new and up and like cars. You can walk around there. It's like a museum of like new cars and old cars, right? They come over. Hi, how you doing? Shake your hand. Welcome. Let's get you started. All right. So what's going on? And they type in the stuff. I'm like, all right, well, we'll do this, that, and the other. And you need to ride anywhere? You need something to drink? You need something to eat? You need to pick up? You need to drop off? You need a car? Yeah, sure. Dude, they take care of you. The other place, I drive up. When I drive up, there's no signs. It's like there's a guy who's like, all right, over here, let's go over there, around that way, right? Get into a spot. And then I pull up and I'm literally like, I sit in my car, wait for somebody. I step outside my car. I'm like, does anybody know that I'm here? And the best part is there's always somebody who does this, right? I'm just going to use a screen. Imagine that the camera is me and I'm the person who works there. They do just like this. A lot of times this is what happened. They go, hold up, I'm making it official. Take out my pen. So like I'm actually doing. They're like this. They're like,
He just look right past you.
dude, they look at me and they look right past me. And I'm sitting up here like, hello, can I get some help? Right? Like somebody, hey, over here. And then finally, after I go in, I go, hey, I'm just I want to get my car checked out. Oh, okay. All right, hold on. Someone will be with you in a moment.
Oh,
and then I
so
go stand by my car.
I hate when they know you're there and they refuse to look at you.
Exactly. Those are the little things. Those are the little things that separate. I mean, like for a lot of people, that will affect their tip at a restaurant. If you walk into a restaurant and the host is like, hi, like, welcome, we'll be right with you. You know how it's been proven in social psych, we took this whole thing, but it's been proven that people will wait a lot longer.
Oh, wait, hold on.
If
start again. Okay. I gotta get these like in another.
This isn't inspirational, but okay. Go ahead.
What's it like?
See, this is the thing, right? Like it's been proven scientifically in social psychology that when someone is greeted, they will wait a lot longer than when they're not greeted. Prime example, you walk into a restaurant and the host comes up and they say, hi, welcome. Someone will be with you in a moment. Wave and say, make you feel welcome. You will sit and wait for a very long time. In versus you walk into a restaurant and the host doesn't look at you, the manager walks past you, a waitress doesn't look at you, and you stand there, and after about 35 seconds, you're looking like, what the fuck do I gotta do to get some service?
Goes good at the music.
It's
like, I love it.
Am I invisible? Right? Like what I gotta do. It's proven.
No, yeah, because there is a moment of like, yeah, you cross a certain line after a while, you're like, all right, fuck this.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, it's the same thing with waiting for the light to change. But they realize the button that they push, a lot of times the button has no effect. But because you can stand there and go, people will wait a lot longer. Just imagine if you're waiting for the light to change and you didn't have anything that you could do that you felt like was affecting it. You just stand there like, God, this light takes forever. Same thing with elevator music. When you put people in an elevator with no music, people fucking lose their minds, right? If it's a long trip, right? It's a closed space, but you put them in the elevator and there's a little people kind of go, they rock out like,
oh, now they got the little TVs always.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like you'll get to whatever floor, like, oh, it's fine. So So that's the difference, man. And I get that this other place is, their markup is going to be higher because they have a larger overhead. Like you're not just paying
Right.
for you're paying for that excellent service. Same thing at a restaurant. You go to a really nice fine dining restaurant, which I've had some experiences at. Yeah, the prices are a little higher, but the quality, the products are a lot. The food
Here's
is
the
a
thing,
lot
though.
fresher.
Sometimes those restaurants, the portions are still small.
The portion is small, yeah.
And I'm like,
But
the fuck? I
well,
mean, they're
okay.
paying for good and all, but this ain't that good. I can only have 2 bites of it.
But think about it, Sal. Anything that's expensive or worth having, it doesn't come in abundance. That's why it makes it expensive. It's like, think about it. If you went to go get lobster and you paid $15 and they brought out like 3 lobsters, you'd be like, what's wrong with these lobsters? Like, if I can get 3 lobsters for $15, that's $5 a lobster. Are these like farmed? Is this even real
Right.
lobster?
Like,
Right?
yeah, I don't trust like cheap sushi,
Exactly. Every roll is like $3. You get a big ass roll like this for $3. You're like, this can't be fish.
I don't like that either. When sushi rolls are huge, like because if
Yeah.
it's too big than normal, if it's not, it's beyond bite size or 2 bite size, then there's something up. Because I'm like, the hell
Well, that's
kind
how
of
it
what else
works,
is in
man.
there?
That's how it works. That's why I don't eat fast food, because they're willing to give you so much food for nothing. Come on
Right.
in, get the $2.99 meal. You get a burger, fries, a soda, and a
Yeah, like the hell.
milkshake. Like, what the fuck? What is this?
Yeah.
Why am I not paying for any food, really? Right? Why am I getting so much food for so little? But then that speaks to food insecurity. People are like, look, man, food is too expensive. I can't be paying a lot
It's
of money.
true.
Right? So I gotta
It
get
is bullshit that the healthiest food is the most expensive. Organic is
I
most
get it.
expensive.
I get it. But then think about all the other food. And this is the thing. Think about it. Right? Sal just said it's bullshit that the healthiest food is the most expensive. Well, I think that it's bullshit that the cheapest food is filled with toxic chemicals and is practically free.
That's why it's so cheap.
That's why it's so cheap. So I guess you have to ask yourself, do I want to live a better quality of life and pay a little bit more? Or do I not want to pay anything and be sick as shit?
Or you can be like, do I want to buy the healthiest food and then have no money left for anything else in life?
Yeah,
or do I want to buy cheap food and I can
here it
still
is.
get drunk tonight?
Here it is. It's like you have to make a choice. Do you eat healthy? Do you eat healthy and sit in the dark? Or do you eat poorly and have lights?
Yeah,
It's a hell of a choice. It's a hell of a choice. I know.
Do you
it
eat
is.
healthy in the dark, or
Yeah.
do you eat McDonald's with the
Or do you eat
lights on?
McDonald's? Do you want every healthy meal to be by candlelight? Not by choice, but because you couldn't pay the light bill. This message is brought to you by Spitballin.
There it is. There it is.
There it is.
Inspirational spitball. We used the whole track. It's 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
Well, you're a little free-handed with it. It's
Yeah,
like a new toy.
Yeah, it's such a fun toy.
Yeah.
I'll have to get one for my recipes. All right, what else? Anything else, Reg? We could wrap up. I did have
Well,
another
no,
idea
just
for
that,
a segment.
the end of that is that they matched and I moved forward with it, and
Yeah, we
I was able to
figured that out.
save roughly $800.
$800.
So this is it. The last bit of information I want to share with people is, yo, man, there's nothing wrong with bargain shopping, right?
Even
Before you move
well,
forward.
especially with the mechanics are
Yeah.
always like dentists
or getting
are
a
like
second
mechanics
or
white
third
coats.
opinion, right?
Right,
And
right,
you
for
can do that
sure,
by
for
calling
sure,
someone.
for sure.
Yeah.
And then you get the competition and they're like, oh, well, they're doing that. Well, we'll take money from them at least.
Well, not even I don't even know if it's about taking money from them as much as it's like, look, something is better than nothing. Because I would have paid them.
When you're at that number too, once you're hitting almost $2,000, no matter.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, for them, it's like I either we either let him go because we don't want to match and we just get 250 and then he probably doesn't come back, or we match and we keep him coming back because he knows that we're willing to work with him, right? And I'm sure they looked at my history and the amount of work that I've had done. This is the funny part.
They're like,
The
this guy's
amount
a sucker. We could get
well,
him every
well,
time.
well, I was gonna say the amount of work that I've had done there, and not like a ton, but they're like, look, we already stuck this dude up for like $5,000, right? Like
Let's get it.
yeah, we already got like 4K out of this guy over. We'll throw him a bone, right? And I'm like, yo, I'll take the bone. So that was it. That was a story I wanted to share.
I'm already writing to say that we use the inspirational music a lot this episode.
Yeah, you got inspirational music happy. So, but all right, man. All right, well.
So I tried to get. I reached out to a comedian guest. I got no reply. You have a bunch of.
I got a bunch of maybes.
Yeah,
I got a
the
bunch
movie
of options.
director, the author looked very interesting, and some comics. So yeah, see what you could do for next week, Reg.
Okay. Well, the movie director that I'm thinking about, and she's super busy, but I want to throw this out here. She her feature film debut.
Directorial debut.
Yeah, her feature film directorial debut will be February 3rd on Showtime. It's a documentary, and it's centered around Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, formerly known as Chris Jackson, who was a college standout at LSU University, who played with Shaquille O'Neal, went to the NBA, and was a phenomenal talent in the NBA. While in the NBA, he converted to the Islam faith, or converted to Muslim, and he was one of the first people that I saw. Now, prior to this, I'm sure other people did it, but he was one of the first people I saw in the NBA to not stand during the national anthem because of his beliefs at the time and how he felt. And it was really controversial. And this whole documentary talks about his life prior to this event happening, and then what happened to him afterwards. And he was basically blackballed from the NBA, and he was phenomenally talented. Like, this dude could light it up. And he also had Tourette's, like he had a tic. So there are times when you see him on the court where he might just be standing there and his shoulder would be going. But then when he's dribbling, like he's playing, like no tics, just like it, it's like the people who sometimes they get into a thing and they, like, if they can sing, right? They sing, and it's like they never stutter. Like people who have a stutter, like they sing and you don't hear any stutter, and then when they stop, then it's kind of like, they have a hard time.
I had to do an interview once, like the office job interview. So I go in there with a suit, meet the guy who's good, come in for the next interview, right? So I go in for the next interview, and he's got his boss, and nobody told me this guy's got a whole body twitch. So you're sitting there in your interview, and he's like, yeah, so what do you want to be in 5 years? What do you think? And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, just trying not to look and react.
Well, yeah, you got to read the room, right? If everybody else in the room is like, yeah, like this is normal shit, then you got to be like, oh, this is normal.
Oh, this is normal. And he would do it like every fucking 30 seconds, every 10 seconds. I was like, this is a really tough interview.
Yeah. You just got to be a good person, bro. You can't be like, well, I see myself in 5. What the hell was that?
What was that?
What was that? They're like, this interview is over. You're like, nah, it shouldn't be over. You didn't tell me about this shit.
You tell me, man, gonna be shaking out of his seat when I'm trying to answer questions.
Like, you gotta warn somebody, man. Well, that's the whole point of this interview.
I'm trying to lie over here.
Exactly. That's the whole point of the interview. The interview was not about whether or not you can answer the questions properly. It was about how you respond to a guy who has a medical condition that he can't control. This is some bullshit.
Man. Oh, man. It was a trip. Yeah. But all right. Well, I do remember that documentary that LeBron James put out, Shut Up and Dribble. And they mentioned this guy, Mahmoud Abdul Rauf.
Yeah, he's a perfect example of it.
Yeah. But they go through a lot. The Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul, this guy. Yeah. Eventually all the way down. Yeah. But cool, man. All right, Reg. Well, good times.
Yeah. So shout out to her. Congratulations to her. So everyone out there listening, if you have Showtime, February 3rd on Showtime. Yeah, it'll be debuting. The other guy, Aize Jama Everett, is an accomplished writer. He's written.
Yeah, it seems like he had a cool sci-fi fantasy thing he's into writing, right?
Oh, dude, he's got The Liminal People. That was the
with
first
Race, one. Which that looks pretty cool, man.
Oh, dude, read it. I'm telling you right now, read The Liminal People by Aize Jama Everett.
Is that his graphic novel?
No, his graphic novel is it's something Bones.
Oh yeah, I was reading about it.
Yeah, I can't think of entropy of bones. No, not entropy of bones. Something bones. But the graphic
Man, no
novel
wonder
is
you can't get
it's.
these guys on here. They
Oh
don't
no!
even
Look,
you don't even know their
Aize
names.
and I have been like Aize. So just so people know, because I know Aize is the guy. So Aize and I became friends because he was really good friends with Jamoki.
Box of
Jamoki,
Bones.
Box of Bones. There you go. And then his second book. Oh wait, do I have it here? Should I break it
Here,
out?
I'll just put the screen up right now.
Okay, Entropy.
The Entropy of Bones.
The Entropy of Bones. There you go. Box of Bones, Entropy of Bones. The Liminal People is the first one. The Liminal War is second. Then the Entropy of Bones, and then the Box of Bones. And it's dude, it's this is my dude. I know this guy personally. We're good friends. And
he's done a lot of
shared,
books.
yeah. And we
and he like self-produced it and self-published himself, huh? The first one.
Yes.
I read that.
It's really good. I would love, honestly, he and I have talked about my other friend who's doing this movie. But talking about I'll put it like this. He was hoping that the Liminal People would be produced. Like I think he's still trying to see if he can get that turned into a thing. And he was talking about trying to get this guy as Taggart, the lead protagonist in the story. Which is a good story, man. It's really good. It's riveting. Like you started, you can't put it down. So I would love to have him on. And he and I've been trying to, our schedules have been conflicting, but we've been trying to get together for lunch for the last 2 months or something, or at least month and a half or
Come
something.
on, Rich.
So, well, he's traveling and then I got work and, it's just like people busy, man. Schedules.
Nah,
man.
you fine. You fine.
Yeah.
You're
so
fine.
we'll make it happen.
All right.
And then, and I got a couple other options out there too.
All right. We'll see what you could do for next week.
Oh, okay. All right. I can do that. All right, folks. Anything else you want to say before we go?
Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom.
All right. Well, hey, folks, Sal has to go to the bathroom, so I guess we should end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. We added a new twist. Thanks for whoever suggested the inspirational music.
Great idea.
Great idea. That was hilarious and awesome and fun. Be honest, for me, every time it comes on, I get to. And then a moment with Reggie Steele, right? So
you go really slow when I do it, though.
Well, yeah, because the music is slow. I can't talk fast, though. It can't be. All right. Well, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. We had a lot of fun doing it. Come back and visit us. And if you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any comments, we'd love to hear them. We're always trying to improve and getting better. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. That is Sal Kalani. I'm Reggie Steele. And this is Spitballin. Peace.
All right. Oh, wait, I got to shut it off.
I got to.